Hello.
This is MJ Stories. This is just a channel about our life and our experiences and life in general and what we like to do. The
MJ part of the channel stands for, obviously, MJ, Mary Jane. We are very regular users.
I'm Mercedes.
I'm John. So another reason why we named it MJ.
Lots of good reasons.
We just
We are in a legal state, and I'll take this moment to say that we do not recommend or condone the use of marijuana for those under the age of 21 or in states where it's not legal, because we're required to say this.
legally.
And yes, we're legal here.
Yeah. We just recently moved to Colorado. Back in April. Beginning of this year, I guess is the official turning point of when we started waking up. Even though we've kind of been fading for a couple of years, or we've been bad association or whatever for a few years. We went out.
We got marked about 4 years ago when we were dating, and that kind of started us waking up. But tonight we thought we'd introduce you to a little bit of our downtime and what we like to do.
Just trying to keep it chill.
We do like marijuana for recreational purposes, but I also have fibromyalgia and PTSD, as well as insomnia and endometriosis. It helps me a lot. It helps with my pain, it helps with my anxiety, helps me be a calmer, more just normal, everyday person, without constantly just being in pain or thinking about the pain.
Same here, pretty much. Mostly PTSD and body pain mostly. Got bad leg and bad back from motorcycle wreck and some other stuff back in the past.
For those interested, I figured I'd go ahead and tell you, we're smoking some Purple Rockstar Kush, courtesy of Strawberry Fields.
My new job,
If you're ever in Colorado, check them out.
I just started as a bud tender at a marijuana dispensary here in Pueblo, Colorado. So if you're ever in this vicinity or whatever, come hit us up. Come say hey. We are very open people. Try to be as loving as possible.
We don't judge. We've been judged enough. We've been ridiculed enough. But waking up, as painful as it was, it made us realize that there's more to life.
So much more.
Oh yes, we have a daughter, and it's the only way I know how to describe it is I see this amazing child, and she's so full of life and so full of personality, and you spend just 2 seconds with this kid and she lights up your world. And I mean, I'm not just saying this because I'm biased because it's my kid. I mean, this little girl
She has been life-changing.
She's been life-changing. And
in a totally positive, huge way.
And basically, I was being told that I wasn't raising her appropriately, and that I needed to put her in a box and clip her wings. And I can't do that.
And from those new videos that are out at the convention and stuff that they got out now, like the kid with the violin or the whatever, I can't remember what it was now. I honestly haven't even quite really watched all those videos all the way through, because as soon as they start, they just bother the crap out of me. It's just so fake, and it's so churchy, and so gaudy in a way, even though they claim not to be.
And you're not even allowed to voice your opinion or state how you feel or be validated as a human being. And that's just wrong. It's immoral and it's inhuman. And I can't stand by it. And there's lots of reasons that woke us up, and there's major issues with child sex abuse. And if that's a new thought to you when it comes to Jehovah's Witnesses, I highly recommend you Google it. Don't just take my account for it. Don't just take my past experiences, but Google it. Look it up for yourself. Don't just take Watchtower's word for it either.
There are many lawsuits ongoing right now, and many cases that are against the witnesses and against multiple congregations. And I can't remember what the website was that I found one time when I was just researching, because I shared a clip a while back, which is kind of what started some of the bull crap that we got into, because I shared a clip about a brother that was being sued at the Greenville, Texas congregation, which is where I was mostly raised, in the truth, so to speak. And it was a brother that I knew, an older brother, that had messed around with like five girls and one boy from the congregation and they listed, it said that it went for more than from 6 to 13 years, usually about on average between all 6 of those people. Now, I've been talking so much it done went out again. But anyway, and they were all people that I knew and I had heard of. Some of them I didn't know personally or anything, but I knew of them. And this brother, I just remember growing up in that congregation, I thought it was weird. He always gave me a weird vibe. And at that time, I was being heavily sexually abused by my stepmother, which is another whole, I guess, bunch of other videos, because I came forward about all that, and that's another thing that it just all kind of started diving down from this, or around the same time period. Anyway, I shared that clip, which is like a little 4-minute news clip or whatever, and one of the elders that I had worked for him for a long time growing up in the congregations. It was kind of weird because almost everywhere we moved, he ended up either being there, or he ended up moving out there, or whatever. I mean, it was kind of weird how anyway, I used to do some work for him in the RBC, tile work and flooring and stuff like that, and so did she, which is just kind of weird. After me and her been talking, and everything, it's kind of weird how I think we've actually ran across each other quite a few times before, and we just didn't know it. But anyway, his wife, which used to be kind of one of her friends, backstabber kind of styles. Of course, elder's wife.
Nosy elder's wife.
Typical elder's wife.
Lead elder's wife.
Always knew what was going on, but always kind of trying to spread stuff and ask questions and start rumors. They're actually the ones that got us together, said that we would be a perfect fit for each other, and how right they were. I'm glad they introduced us. But and then as soon as they introduced us, and we just clung on like right away, basically. I mean, then they started trying to split us apart, and of course, marriage was what down or looked down upon, and still is now, and everything. Nobody really ever seemed to even excited that we had a kid either. Sorry, I'm kind of getting off subject there.
There's so many things.
Getting a little lifted.
Yeah, that too. There's so many things that little inconsistencies, things that just don't add up. And something that's always bothered me is you can't mix lies and truth. You just can't. And if something just doesn't add up and it just continues to feel wrong and it's definitely not right, then it's definitely wrong. If it's not right, then it's wrong.
Oh yeah,
that's all there is to it.
Yeah, I mean, all I did was just share that post, and I said, this really seems to hit home. As soon as I shared that post, that elder that I've been working with, that I'd grown up with and everything, and he always somehow ended up being the lead elder in some of my, my meetings or judicial cases, whatever. And he sent me a message right away. You need to take that post down right now. And I said, no, thank you. It just seems to hit home right now, so I'm just sharing something that, And then within 24 hours, all the all of our friends and brothers and sisters that were down there all unfriended us off of Facebook. They wouldn't talk to us. Even my own mother and sister basically cut me off, and somehow ended up coming all back on me because it took me so long to come forward about everything that happened to me, and so somehow it was my fault that I didn't say anything sooner. So I could have stopped everything sooner. So that's evidently how my sister felt about it.
But you can see how, I mean, if you know anything about abuse or victims, survivors of abuse, you don't place blame on them, and you don't question what took them so long, because I mean, we beat ourselves up about that enough. I mean, we've
every single day.
It's hard enough speaking out and saying it.
There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about my sister and mother and how I wish that we could be a normal family now. But as I just messaged my mother the other day, I told her, I hope this don't change anything as far as us as a family, and she said it does. So I guess that shows their end of it. Just know that I'm here with open arms if you ever want to talk and give me a hug.
We're not trying to humiliate or ridicule
or
put anybody to shame. That's not what this is about. This is, our human rights were taken away. We were denied basic human rights. And here it is 25 years later, and we just now realize it. We just now realize that we were part of a cult. And
how dumb I feel.
How naive.
I keep feeling so dumb.
And it took being abused for years, having the strength to come forward about it, and then being told that, oh, we should just leave it in Jehovah's hands and not tell people and just be quiet about it. And how does that protect the victims? How does that protect anybody? I mean, these are registered sex offenders that are in the congregations that are holding babies. They're holding children, and the parents aren't told. They have no clue.
In fact,
that
the brothers.
sex offenders.
If somebody were to call about that brother, they'd be, oh yeah, he seems great with children. Blah 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 blah. Oh, there was something I was about to say. What were you? I had a point that I was about
They're
to say.
registered. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not even gonna start with the ones that like in our cases that they denied it or there wasn't a second witness, so oh well.
And in my situation,
we'll just wait for another victim.
And in my situation, my mother came forward about catching him. Catching, her own situation. I had my situation, but everything was a one witness situation, so nothing could have been done. And they somehow twisted it all back onto me. I don't understand how it did. And they didn't deserve for me to sit there and tell them everything in exact detail. What happened to me? They asked me in exact detail.
We'll get into more detail on that later because we're running long on this video.
Yeah, it's coming up in 15 minutes.
But I mean, I know we seem a little irritated, but we're not bitter or angry. We just,
I don't know.
I'm a little angry, but I just want people to understand our side and where we're coming from. And I mean, how can you say that we've left God when you don't know what's going on, when you cut us off and don't want to talk to us? I mean, if you can explain that to me, I'd really appreciate it. Y'all have a good night.